Hello, Jai Hind, dear students. Very good morning. Today, you are going to attend lecture number 6, and the chapter we have been discussing about chapter number 5, that is periodic classification of elements. You have already attended 5 lectures in this particular chapter. This is, as you know, the last chapter of chemistry already. Okay. Now, as far as 5 lectures are concerned, you have understood about in this chapter periodic classification and elements. You have understood about contribution of some of the valuable contribution came from some of the scientists like Dobereiner's triads, then Newland's classification, then Mendeleev's periodic table, understand, and some of the remarkable features of Mendeleev's periodic table and some of his limitations. At that time also, if you know, in lecture number 3, I always never utilize the word defects. I have utilized the word limitations of Mendeleev's classification of elements. I never utilize the defect because we are in no stage to say that this were some of the defects in Mendeleev's periodic table. We are in a stage that we can say that these were some of the limitation of that great scientist, understand, who gave us actually the base for classification of elements. Then, as you know, modern periodic table, not a gift of any one scientist, that you all know. It's a boost up and collective efforts. It's actually the analysis and result of collective efforts of so many scientists of the world. Understand? It's a thorough collective efforts by all of them, understood, and modern periodic table was designed. My dear student, in lecture number 4, I just discussed through that PPT program only about modern periodic table, where I discussed about how the groups are made, how the periods are made, and all the irregularities or limitations which were observed in Mendeleev's periodic table were thoroughly corrected in modern periodic table. Today, the topic which we are targeting, and if you know, if you remember, in lecture number 5, I have explained you 2 topics in detail, that is how to determine position of any element in periodic table, that we discussed, if you can remember. At the same time, we also discussed, understand, regarding how to predict the chemical properties of any element based on its position or location in the periodic table, that we discussed, if you can remember. Today's topic, before I start today's topic, because today's topic which we are going to discuss are actually interrelated with the topic of lecture number 5, where we discussed about chemical properties of element. Okay, so my dear student, today the topic which we are going to start, before that, chapter number 5, as you know. Okay, what is the title of the chapter that you know? Periodic. Okay, periodic classification of elements, right? Periodic classification of elements, and in that, my dear student, today you are attending lecture number 6. Okay, and the topic which we are going to discuss today is very important topic. No doubt that is regarding the properties of elements only. Okay, it's not new. First, before we start the topic, understand, before we actually start the topic which we are going to discuss today, we want to discuss some of the very important points, understand, regarding modern periodic table. Now, my dear student, the topic which we are going to discuss today, in that, first you need to understand the word. That is very important. What is the word given in exam? See, just try to understand the word. It can be asked in exam in this way. I am just writing the title here. They may ask this way: trends in modern periodic table. Okay, this way they can ask trends in modern periodic table. Or, my dear student, if they don't utilize this word, trends in modern periodic table, understand, or they may utilize sometime this particular word also: periodicity. Periodicity in modern periodic table. Before we start this topic, we need to understand what does this particular word highlights. Okay, what is actually meaning of trends, or what is actual meaning of periodicity? Try to understand, my dear student. First, before we really indulge in explaining the topic, I want you to make this word very clear. What you call trends in modern periodic table, or what you call periodicity, means what actually? Trends means, you know the trends. Have you heard the word trend? Understand, if you haven't, just I may give you one example. Reliance Trends. What is that? They are actually demonstrating the different fashion article in front of you. Understand? Trends means change. Understand? So trend word can be replaced as changes in modern periodic table. Either you speak changes in modern periodic table, or you speak periodicity in modern periodic table. Understand? Change in modern periodic table regarding what? So regarding some of the most important factors or properties of element. As you all know, my dear student, the modern periodic table is divided, is fabricated as vertical column, which we call groups, horizontal row, which we call period. So if you want to understand changes in chemical property in modern periodic table, so either you have to move in, just I am giving you the idea, okay, we will understand it. Trends means changes which occurs in modern periodic table regarding chemical properties of elements that we have to verify, okay. Now my dear student, how can we understand it? Changes means in what? So in modern periodic table, as you know, it has been divided into groups, okay. It is divided into groups and periods that we all know very well, okay. Groups are those vertical columns in modern periodic table. Periods are horizontal rows in modern periodic table. That means what? If you want to understand the changes in chemical properties in modern periodic table, means what type of changes occurs regarding chemical properties in modern periodic table, then you know, if you want to understand the changes, understand in modern periodic table in groups, that means you have to move from top to bottom, okay. If you want to understand trends, changes in chemical properties, understand, then in a group you have to move down the group, means from top to bottom. And if you want to study changes in property, then in period you have to move from left to right. You understood this? In group you have to move from top to bottom. In period you have to move from left to right, that is confirm. Left to right you have to move in a period. Top to bottom you have to move in a group. So in a group you have to move from top to bottom to understand the changes in chemical property, and in period you have to move from left to right. So you understood the basic meaning of periodicity. Periodicity means to understand changes in chemical properties of element when you move in a group from top to bottom, or in a period from left to right. If you can remember two changes, my dear student, we have discussed in our lecture number 5, if you can remember. We discussed about valency, if you can remember. Understand, I just want to remind you, okay. First, what we are going to do here is that we will accept we will target, see, actually there are 8 groups, as you know, 7 period. So as a representative you have to select only one group and one period. Your discussion about trends in modern periodic table in one group and one period is sufficient. We have to discuss the change not in all periods and all groups. That we do not have to do. We have to study the change only in one group and one period. So obviously, suppose we select a period, so we can't discuss period number 1 because it consists of only two elements, hydrogen and helium. We will not feel comfortable to discuss in detail. Okay, so we will select period number 2. Okay, you must be remembering the name of the element: lithium, okay, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Okay, let us select. And which chemical property we are going to discuss the first? We will discuss about valency. Okay, that we already discussed, no doubt, understand. Then we are going to discuss about atomic size. Okay, and related with atomic size is electronegativity. Understand? Electronegativity or metallic and non-metallic character. Okay, so these are some of the properties we are going to discuss. Now my dear student, before we start our discussion, we are selecting which period? We are selecting the second period. We will consider our discussion on second period. Understand, applies to all periods. Your discussion on second period applies to all 7 period. Let me just write the name of the element. Okay, starting from, my dear student, lithium. Can you speak the next element? Beryllium. Can you speak the next? Beryllium. Then boron. Then carbon. Okay, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Okay, group number 1, you know, group number 2, group number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, second period. We have already discussed about, if you can remember, valency. Just I want to remind it for you. Lithium, okay, what is its valency? +1, beryllium +2, boron +3, then carbon +4, then means sharing here. Okay, we will not write this way. Now the sharing starts taking place. Okay, -1 and 0. This is what, if you can remember, we have already discussed in our lecture number 5 also. What happens to the valency? So if in a period you move from left to right, try to understand. If in a period, if you move from left to right, valency first increases and then decreases. Remember my statement, what I spoke. In a period, if you move from left to right, valency first increases, then decreases. You understood this particular word? First valency increases and then valency decreases. Is it clear in your mind? Okay. What happens to the group if we select? This is second period, my dear student, and we can also select first group. Okay, first group. Lithium, we have already written the name, then lithium. Hydrogen we are not writing, and lithium, then sodium, then potassium. Hydrogen at the top, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and frenium. Okay, rubidium, okay, then cesium and then frenium. Okay, group 1. Just we will not move up to rubidium, cesium, frenium. You do not have to move in detail up to the atomic number of so many elements. At least if you concentrate here, one thing is clear regarding all these. All these elements belong to group number 1. So they all will have valency plus 1 only. You understood this? That means what? If you move in a group from top to bottom, if you move in a group from top to bottom, no changes occurs in valency. Valency will remain, suppose in group 1 valency will remains plus 1 only. So about valency, it is clear in your mind, my dear student. In chemistry, when you study any topic, don't study like that, just ગોખવાનું નહીં. Understand? Basic concept mind ma has to be there. What happens to valency? So I have written plus 1, plus 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, minus 1, 0. Why? Because I do not want you to just write topic without clear understanding. Here, you do not have to remember the electronic configuration of all elements in group 1. Understand? You just have to concentrate that all elements belong to group 1 has valency plus 1. That's why only they are in group 1. Okay. So, one thing has to be very, very clear in your mind. What is that? If we move, that is called the trends, that is called the changes. Understand? If in a period when you move from left to right, valency of elements first increases, then decreases. Clear? In a group, as you move from top to bottom, no changes occurs in valency. You understood this? So about valency, is it clear in your mind? Should I repeat it again? What happens to valency in a modern periodic table? As you move from left to right, valency first increases and then decreases. Clear? In a group, as you move from top to bottom, valency remains the same. No changes occurs in valency. Is it clear in your mind? Okay. Now let us, my dear student, discuss about the second important property, that is atomic size. What happens to the atomic size if we move in a period or move in a group? First you tell me, what do you understand? What is the actual meaning of atomic size? What does it mean? Atomic size, can I just give you an idea? Suppose, my dear student, this is nucleus, okay? And maybe there may be one orbit, two orbit, three orbit, whatever, but suppose I have drawn the valence orbit here. This is nucleus, you all know, okay? And this is orbital, or you can say cell also. What can be said, or what is actually atomic radius? You can say that the distance between nucleus and outermost orbit, that is valence orbit, is known as, this is called atomic radius. Okay, my dear student, first you need to understand the meaning of atomic radius. What is that? It is in fact a distance between nucleus and valence orbit. Arbitrarily, that way we can define atomic radius. Atomic radius are such a smaller measurements, cannot be measured in meters, centimeter whatsoever. They are measured in picometers. Understand? They have given in textbook atomic radius of some of the elements in period and group. That is a question of remembering only. The basic question is understanding the things. Okay. So, my dear student, what is atomic radius? Atomic radius means distance between nucleus and outermost orbit. Okay. Now let us try to understand what changes occur in atomic size when we move in second period from left to right. And with atomic size, my dear student, you will also understand metallic or non-metallic character, that is electronegativity. Understand, you all know very well, metallic character means the tendency to lose electron, that is called metallic character. Non-metallic character means tendency to share or accept electron. Understand? That means one thing is clear, my dear student. Metals are always electropositive. They always have tendency to donate electron. And non-metals have tendency to either share or accept electron. You understood the difference of metallic and non-metallic character? Metallic character means chemical tendency to lose electron, that is called metallic character. Non-metallic character means tendency to share or accept electron. Okay. So we will discuss together all this about atomic size, about metallic character and non-metallic character. Okay. Let us do one thing, because we want to discuss changes in atomic size in period first. So let us erase other material from here temporarily, okay? Because we are targeting period only. Our target is to study about period only, okay, right? And let us make this also, it's okay, chalo, one period. We want to understand changes in atomic size when we move from left to right. Understand what changes occurs in atomic size. Atomic size, you understood? Understand atomic size. That means the if you say atomic size increases, that means atomic radius increases, or atomic size decreases means that means atomic radius decreases. Try to understand, dear student. Suppose lithium, what is its atomic number? You all know atomic number of lithium, that is 3. Its electronic configuration I am writing 2 comma 1, okay. Beryllium obviously 2 comma, just you have to go on increasing electron in the valence orbit. This is 2 3. My dear student, you have to be watchful on the valence orbit. This is 2 4, then this is 2 5, 2 6, 2 7, 2 8. We have discussed this. What you need to concentrate here for you is this factor. Everywhere the first orbit contains 2 electrons. That does not matter here. What matter is progressive filling in outermost orbit. See, electron increases by 1, okay. That means what, my dear student? Just try to understand. I will just draw lithium 1 or 2 atom for you. Suppose lithium, if we draw. So suppose this is nucleus, okay, right? Atomic number 3 means 3 proton, 3 neutron. Understand that we are not showing here. The first orbit consisting of how many electron? Only 2 electron, okay. First orbit. Second orbit consisting of only 1 electron. This is what? Lithium atom. Understand? Now, my dear student, try to understand the basics. See, 3 proton, 3 neutron. These are all electron. Understand? Now, answer my one question. Why electron rotates in orbit? Why? Why they do not escape out of the atom? Because they feel nuclear attraction, opposite charge. Proton positively charged, electron negatively charged. So what happens? The opposite charge attraction, it actually nuclear attraction applies to all orbits, first, second, both orbit. Understand? But my dear student, the nuclear attraction on the outermost orbit means the on the electron in the outermost orbit is very important. Now what happens? Just now there are 3 proton and 1 electron. So obviously this electron is attracted by the proton. Now what happens, my dear student? If you just draw atom of boron, that's why I am not writing proton neutron, because they are going to change as per the element. I just want to give you an idea only. Here I am just drawing plus, that means protons. If you draw of beryllium, what is going to happen? 1 electron will increase, because in lithium there was only 1 electron. In in beryllium there are two electrons, so the nuclear attraction will increase on the outermost orbit, and nucleus try to attract it more and more. So this orbit will move little near to the nucleus. Try to understand. Now if you draw boron, so again one electron. So nuclear attraction will again increase on the valence orbit, and the valence orbit will be pulled more towards the nucleus. Suppose then you write of carbon, again one electron increase. So valence orbit is pulled more towards the nucleus. So what happens, my dear student? Then 5, 6, 7 we can discuss. What happens as electron increases in the valence orbit, the valence orbit fill more and more nuclear attraction, and because valence orbit experiences more and more attraction, it will be pulled near and near to the nucleus. So my dear student, can you understand? Now when it is pulled near and near to the nucleus, that means distance between nucleus and valence orbit go on decreasing because it come nearer and nearer. That means atomic size decreases as you move in a period from left to right. Is it clear in your mind? Again, never just learn and write. Never. Understand, learn and write. Understand, learn and write. What happened? This is when I explain any topic, doesn't mean you just learn and write. Understand it. What happened? Tell me. As you move in a group from left to right, outermost orbit get progressively filled by one extra electron. That means what? As the number of electron increases in the outermost orbit, it nuclear attraction increases on the outermost valence orbit, and it will be pulled more and more towards the nucleus. That means atomic radius decreases and atom becomes smaller and smaller as you move from left to right, except neon. About neon you do not have to think, because neon is a sublime noble gas. This rule doesn't apply to it. If you draw atoms of lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, the size go on decreasing, but not about the neon. Okay, suppose lithium, then suppose beryllium, then boron, then carbon, then nitrogen, then oxygen, then fluorine, but neon has bigger size. Understand, this is what just I want to show you. Lithium, suppose beryllium, then boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Okay. They are actually the noble gas and do not possess any type of chemical reactivity whatsoever. Understood? So thing is clear in your mind? Okay. What happens to the atomic size if we move in a period from left to right? atomic size decreases. And my dear student, when atomic size decreases, that means nuclear attraction will increase on the outermost orbit. So nucleus will pull the outermost orbit more and more. So what happens? You understood this? Lithium can lose electron easily. Beryllium needs some energy to lose electron because nuclear attraction increase. Boron needs more energy to lose electron. Then comes carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. They do not have tendency to lose electrons. So here one thing is clear. Only these three elements possess capacity to lose electron. That is called metallic character, and then rest of the element do not possess capacity to understand donate electron. They possess capacity to attract electron, that means to accept or share electron. That means electronegativity decreases and then increases. That means metallic character decreases, non-metallic character increases. Understand? Always when you speak the word metallic character, it implies that metallic character means electropositivity. Non-metallic character means electronegativity. So here electronegativity decreases means electropositivity increases. Here electronegativity increases means electropositivity decreases. Understand? So my dear student, if in a period when we move from left to right, atomic size decreases, metallic character decreases, non-metallic character increases. You understood this? Okay, right? So this is our discussion about atomic size, electronegativity, or metallic and non-metallic character. And one thing more also, my dear student, non-metals are mostly electronegative elements and metals are electropositive elements. They have always chemical tendency to lose electron. Non-metal have tendency to share or accept electron. So what happened in a period? In a period, as you move from left to right, atomic size decreases, metallic character decreases, non-metallic character increases. This is our discussion regarding period. Okay, suppose my dear student, if we want to discuss the same topic, atomic size, metallic character and non-metallic character, let us select one period. Okay, lithium, so I have written here only. Now our period is over. Now our discussion is regarding group. Okay, lithium. Then if we want to write the second element, sodium, okay, then potassium, rubidium, cesium and phrygium. You do not have to write the electronic configuration of all the element mentioned here. You just have to understand the basics. What occurs to the atomic size and what changes occurs in metallic and non-metallic character. That's the point of importance for you. Try to understand, dear student. Lithium atom 2 1, as you know. Just to write sodium, understand 281, understand potassium 2881. This one you do not need to write. Just we wrote first three element, okay, of first group. Lithium, what is its electronic configuration? 2 1. Sodium 281, one orbit added. Potassium 2881, one orbit again added to it. So actually what is going to happen, just try to understand. If we just draw the atom lithium, I am drawing all three atom lithium atom, okay. Here I am not going to, so just the proton, okay. First orbit and then second orbit, okay. Suppose sodium atom, nucleus, there you have to show three orbit, okay. And suppose potassium, nucleus, and you will show four orbits, okay. I am not showing electron all orbit, I am just showing the electron in the last orbit. Here one electron, here also one electron, here also one electron. So what happens? Just try to understand. We are not showing about rubidium, cesium, fermium. Understand, you that way you do not have to move also. Try to understand. Lithium, sodium, potassium, just by drawing their atomic structure, what comes to your mind is that outermost orbit moved away from the nucleus. You saw here outermost orbit is one orbit away from nucleus. Here outermost valence orbit is two orbit away from the nucleus. Here outermost orbit is three orbit away from the nucleus. So what happens as we move in a period or a group from top to bottom, atomic size increases. You understood this? Means atomic radius increase, and because as you move in a group from top to bottom, atomic size increases because new orbit get added as you move from top to bottom. So nuclear attraction on outermost electron also decreases because nuclear attraction decreases. That means element can lose electron very easily. Lithium needs energy to lose electron. Sodium can lose electron easily. Potassium can lose electron more easily. Rubidium need less energy to lose electron than potassium. Cesium require, compared to rubidium, require less energy to lose electron. Fermium require less energy to lose electron. That means as you move in a group down the group, that means from top to bottom, what is happening? Atomic size increases and non-metallic character increases. That means metallic character decreases, because as you move from lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, freonium, they all try to lose electron readily, more and more, with less energy. That means what? That metallic character decreases, non-metallic means non-metallic character increases. You understood this? Okay. And my dear student, this is the way you can simply understand the topic. Okay. What happened to changes in atomic size and metallic and non-metallic character? So if you move in a group from top to bottom, atomic size increases, nuclear attraction on valence orbit decreases, so element can successively in progression are able to lose electron very easily. That means that means what? Okay, if you move from lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, freonium, they are able to lose electron, understand, very easily. That means metallic character increases. What? Metallic character increases and non-metallic character decreases. Okay. પહેલાથી ઊંધું પીરિયડમાં શું હોય છે? As you move in a period from left to right, metallic character decreases, non-metallic character increases. Here, if you move in a group from top to bottom, non-metallic character decreases and metallic character, that is the tendency to lose electron, goes on increasing. You understood this? So this is some discussion about trends in modern periodic table. In trends, you have to explain about changes in three parameter. First, changes in valency. Second, changes in atomic size. And third, metallic and non-metallic character. To sum up, before we end today's lecture and before we end to the chapter number 5 today, can we just have a sum up of that? Valency in a period, first, as you move from left to right, valency first increases then decreases. In a group, when you move from top to bottom, no changes occur in valency over atomic size. If in a period we move from left to right, atomic size decreases, metallic character decreases, non-metallic character increases. In a period, as we move from top to bottom, atomic size increases as a result. Non-metallic character decreases and metallic character increases. These changes you observe in a group and those changes you observe in a period. So that is actually the explanation of the title, that is trends in modern periodic table. Periodicity means what happens periodically as you move in a period from left to right in a group from top to bottom. What changes can be observed in valency, in atomic size and metallic and non-metallic character. Okay, dear students, so today's our discussion regarding trends in modern periodic table is over. And with this, lecture number 6, chapter 5, that is periodic classification of element, understand that chapter with this lecture 6 is over here. Okay, so in first lecture, as you know, we discuss about Dobereiner, understand, then we discuss about Newland, then Mendeleev's periodic table, then modern periodic table, then how to ascertain position and properties of element in periodic table, and then in today's lecture I just explain you the trends in modern periodic table. Trends means changes which can be observed if we move in a period from left to right, group in top to bottom, understand regarding atomic size, regarding valency, and regarding metallic and non-metallic character. Okay, and dear student, you reminded one thing, when you compare sodium and potassium, you are every time speaking potassium is more reactive than sodium. Why? Both has capacity to lose one electron because belongs to group number 1, but potassium can lose electron more readily than sodium because it has 4 orbit, here 3 orbit. You understood now? This is clear. So with this, lecture number 6, chapter 5, that is periodic classification of element, is over. And with this, my dear student, 5 chapters in chemistry. Chapter number 1, understand chemical reactions and equation. Chapter number 2, acid, base and salt. Chapter number 3, metals and non-metals. Chapter number 4, carbon and its compound. And chapter number 5, that is periodic classification of element. All chapter in chemistry are over in today's lecture. Okay, dear student, thank you very much from Bharat sir.